for sports, business, health tracking, and planning your daily tasks. The new Xiaomi Watch S1 series is here with the simple goal to disrupt the market and gain a lot of popularity. Is this finally a great wearable line from Xiaomi? Let's inspect. Hi, welcome. Nice to see you. How are you doing today? Well, if we see each other for the first time, Michael, nice to meet you. What we do here on the channel is to inspect fresh and cool tech. And today we're going to talk about wearables, a stream that in the past few years has developed a lot. Well, if we think about the materials being used with smartwatches, they have gone a lot more premium, brighter displays, longer lasting batteries, a lot more features supported. And today, I have the chance to show you not one, but actually two wearable devices that we are going to closely inspect together. The Xiaomi Watch S1, which is this, the more premium looking, and the S1 Active, which is covering, let's say, 80% of the same features, has slightly different design and a bit better price. Well, for the past 2 weeks, one of these has been on my wrist and I've been using them 24/7, and I already have collected plenty of information to share with you. Since the Xiaomi Watch S1 series are based on their proprietary minimalistic MIUI-based operating system, which is not as advanced as Wear OS or Watch OS running on Apple wearables, you have limited ability to install apps and some of them may look basic. But there's a pretty solid compensation by spectacular battery life and a lot more detailed and consistent health tracking data. Looks like the Xiaomi Watch S1 line is gonna step up against Huawei Watch GT3 or Amazfit GTR and GTS the third generation and similar devices, but it may also be challenging some of the sports-oriented wearables by Garmin. Since I've unpacked two devices, we're gonna watch this in parallel. In fact, the experience has been quite different about both. You're gonna notice that the shape of the active pack is entirely different and the box is long and slim. For the more expensive S1 model, Xiaomi provide the experience that most wearable makers would go for when they want to look premium. Generally, with both of them, the unboxing felt great. I think it is quite obvious that the materials on the non-active version are a lot more advanced, and it's clearly the stylish-looking one. Sapphire glass meets stainless steel frame and a leather strap on top of that. The Active Edition comes with exquisite metal bezel. The case itself is made of plastic though. A very pleasant fact is the display-to-body ratio, especially on the Active. While Xiaomi give no exact data about it, I noticed that the bezels on both are kind of thinner than most similar watches, and this big display looks stunning. Concerning the specs, let me highlight the most important common features. 143-inch AMOLED display, which not only looks great, but supports more than 200 watch faces. PPG-HR sensor, blood oxygen saturation measuring, accelerometer and gyroscope, ambient light sensor, dual-band multi-GPS, microphone and speaker, NFC inbuilt for contactless payments, Amazon Alexa's smart assistant, a 470 mAh battery for more than 12 days standby time, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. The S1 also arrives with my favorite feature already, namely the wireless charging. It is a very important for me advantage because it means one less charger or adapter to carry with it, and you can even charge it with your smartphone if it supports reverse wireless charging. The specs so far sound pretty decent. And an interesting observation, Xiaomi don't really advertise that much the availability of Wi-Fi, but as you can see here in the settings, it's there. Currently sort of unutilized, maybe due to the fact we don't have access to internal storage for storing some files. And I don't really know if such a thing is present and would be enabled at all. Anyhow, looking into the whole picture, and knowing about all these specs, this smartwatch is immediately better than the latest editions of the GTS and GTR series by Amazfit because it does support Bluetooth phone calls, and also if you use the smart assistant, which in this case is Alexa, it's gonna talk to you via the speaker, and even with the speaker, Xiaomi maintain a 5 ATM waterproof rating. Both devices share the same way of controlling. There are two buttons on the side. The top one is a home button and quick access to the app launcher. The bottom one opens the workouts. Here we talk about 117 fitness modes, which are covering a wide variety of exercises, including water sports, outdoor activities, training, dance, water sports, and many others. pretty much every kind of workout you may think of is included in here. Those that are meant to be trained outdoors will also collect GPS data. Here, I do have some remarks though, since soccer, which is primarily happening outside, has no GPS tracking option for instance, therefore the distance is only counted based on estimations. In this particular case, even such estimations are missing, so you mostly can rely on heart rate and training intensity data. Walkings and outdoor running sessions are a lot more interesting because the watch would also record the routes in details. And it's a good opportunity to try out the GPS accuracy. You may remember that in the past months, there have been a number of devices, including the famous Huawei Watch GT3, that have struggled to deliver precise positioning and were sometimes up to 5 or 10 meters away from the reality. Xiaomi Watch S1, on the other hand, is pretty good about GPS positioning, shows my route without any deviations or errors. Due to the snowy and cold weather outside, I still had no chance to try it with mountain bike, but since city street routes are fine given the cloudy weather, I assume open areas are gonna be even more accurate. The amount of apps is significant, however, also a bit limited. There were no extra apps available in the Mi Fitness store by the time I was working on this review, but there might be some coming soon or later. They're going to be quite basic though. The S1 series are running their own proprietary operating system, which is Xiaomi in-house developed. And based on what it says under the watch information, it's called MIUI Watch 1.0. Very basic, like if you plan to try installing any Wear OS-based apps, that's a no-go. On the other hand, you have a lot of free watch faces, around 200 that you can access through the smartphone app. And I really want to underline they're free of charge. I'm saying this because even Huawei now start to charge you for some of their watch faces, not to mention Wear OS, where really the majority of the cool watch faces are paid. So here, I think it's finally time to appreciate these freebies, free and more than 200. You can make some of the apps from the list to disappear in order to scroll faster and reach out to the apps quicker, and some of them offer additional configuration. What is pretty fresh in terms of ideas is the widgets section, so beautiful and well designed. There is consistency across the different types of widgets, unlike what other brands do in terms of design. There are a lot of improvements notable compared to the first generation, and concerning the UI and the overall user experience, these changes are more than welcome. Sadly, I'm not entirely happy with the scrolling speed. It's smooth, but it's not as buttery smooth as the latest Amazfit or Huawei devices. I think this lovely display deserves a little bit more, so hopefully an update is going to improve the overall experience. Concerning the tracking features, HR, very accurate. No option to add an external chest-mounted tracker, but I think the data coming from the wrist sensor is good enough. SpO2 is also on par with what we expect. Continuous tracking is supported, while now in 2022 this already is a focus area. Xiaomi S1 is among the very few that do this continuously during the whole day. Stress, sleep cycles, the usual fitness tracker data is present, very detailed and nicely presented. The navigation gestures are very easy to get used to. Swipe down for notifications, swipe up for the quick toggles. It's the opposite direction to what most other vendors use, but I find it as comfortable. Oh, and not to miss the payments, you have a wallet, open, select the card and pay. Notifications are quite well implemented too, and they resemble the queue of notifications on your smartphone. Emojis are in place, however, no option for responding, not even via predefined replies.
Hey, here we are. This is a test phone call so that you can assess the quality of the inbuilt speaker inside the Xiaomi S1.
Some words about the app. Surprisingly, it has now a new name, Mi Fitness. So it all started with Mi Fit, then Xiaomi Wear, and now we have the Mi Fitness based on Xiaomi Wear with the option to migrate the data from Mi Fit. Go and figure this out. Good interface, functional menus, a lot of customization options, and of course beautifully grouped data. If you want to explore in depth some of the workouts, be my guest, this is how an exemplary workout with GPS tracking is gonna look like. There are a lot of details as you can notice. Altitude, distance, pace, heart rate, they're all present. For some sports you can count on laps, sectors and so on. Inside the app there is one more key feature supported, the Strava integration. Looking at you, Huawei Health. And after seeing all these customization features and the possibilities to track health and sport activities, and the always-on display, which it just went away. So that's the always-on display. So how many days of battery life do you think I'm getting per charge? Now, with always-on display, heart rate tracking 24/7, sleep tracking, stress tracking, SpO2, again 24/7, and probably 1 to 2 calls per day through the watch, and occasionally 1 or 2 times per week GPS tracked sports. Somewhere between 5 and 6 days are achievable. If you disable the always-on display, then probably 8 to 9 days, and if you reduce the samples for HR tracking, that might go up to 15 days easily. So, fitness tracker like battery life, but also possibility for quite many customizations and of course a delightful stylish design, especially for the Xiaomi Watch S1. How about the drawbacks? No access to internal storage, no rotating crown, limited apps update option, and quite a basic operating system. These are the only major sins of the series as I see it. Yeah. Some watch faces are animated, and in the end, after knowing that here we have Google Fit integration and Strava integration and the fact that it has inbuilt GPS, I think that's going to be a very favorable choice for most people that do sports outdoors and still prefer to have a stylish look and a very reliable, rather smartwatch on their wrist. And I don't know, I think the Xiaomi S1 series are probably a step or two away from being the perfect 2022 wearable. If only they had a rotating crown and access to the internal storage for storing some music files, that was about to be great. But hey, it's just me dreaming about it. And maybe, speaking of dreams, you can let me know, is it the smartwatch released by Xiaomi that you have always been dreaming about? Or after seeing everything we have reviewed so far, you have some second thoughts? Maybe we can talk about all of that in the comments down below the video. As usual, some more information, links to the devices, you're gonna find in the video description. And it's been such a pleasure to get to show you these two bodies in the past few minutes. Thank you very much for choosing my channel. I'm Michael and really look forward to seeing you in our next episode. Bye!